Okay, I'm gonna show you.
Hello family, welcome back to my YouTube channel. We'll be taking a look at why some people think Katy Perry's space trip was a fake, alongside other 6 crew members. American citizens started having doubts if the Blue members actually went to space. Many think Katy Perry's kissing the ground was dramatic. Some believe she was acting. Let's watch carefully.
The capsule that we have been training in for the last few days. Here I am. Seat number 2. This is my call name, Feather. Here on the New Shepherd. I think I'm gonna sing. I'm gonna sing a little bit. I gotta sing in space. And these are all of my astronaut girly friends. We are the Taken Up Space crew. And of course, that saying has had a different meaning to it, but I think it's now the first time ever that it's a double entendre. I do believe this. I'm not going to say I can't believe I'm here. I do believe this because I think that believing your dreams and saying that is actually how you make your dreams come true. Got it? 1, 2, 3, taking up space! Tamir's in space!
It's okay. Leave Flynn up there. Flynn, behind you. Look at
Flynn, I gotcha. I gotcha, Flynn. Gotcha.
Proud of you, Flynn.
Flynn, can I get
Oh, the moon! You guys, I will have to tell you, look at the moon.
That's amazing. Wow, look at the blue line.
Oh my gosh.
Oh my goddess.
Wow. Oh my
That's our pink moon.
Okay. Now it's time to look out that way.
Oh my gosh. She's so Oh my gosh. Whoa. That's amazing.
This is what people are saying is proof that Jeff Bezos' most recent space launch was faked. Now, you've probably already heard, but recently Katy Perry and a bunch of other women went into space using one of Jeff Bezos' Blue Origin rockets. After a few minutes in space, their capsule detached and they returned back to Earth. And this is where people think that it was faked because in normal space missions, when they return back to Earth, 1, it can only be opened with a special tool, and 2, it can only be opened from the outside with the door opening out. But in the Jeff Bezos Katy Perry launch, you can see here the door opens by itself inwards before this woman runs up and allegedly tells them to close it. Jeff Bezos and the woman then stand by the side of the aircraft as if they can't get in for a full 3 minutes before Jeff Bezos eventually goes to the door with a special tool and opens it himself. Now, do I think the whole space launch was faked? No, I think that was real, but I think this part was definitely staged for dramatic effect. But
I have to be honest. Something about these women going to space on Monday is just not sitting right with me. Because first, when Katy Perry initially announced that she was going to space, her fans were not happy at all, and they didn't hold back on letting her know through Instagram. Katy's only response to the concerns was turning off the Instagram comments and moving on with her plan. But then Gayle King went on live TV and said that she's extremely terrified about this upcoming trip to space, which made people genuinely concerned, so they started asking her, well, why are you doing this? And Gayle King still hasn't given a reason why she paid for a flight to space that she's extremely terrified of. She just says that she hopes to inspire others with this historic flight to space. And after doing my research and finding out that they're basically just entering space and coming right back down, I'm really trying to figure out what's the draw behind these space flights. Because just getting one of these trips is nearly impossible. And then let's not talk about the price. So these space trips seem more of a hassle than a benefit to me. But
they went to space for 11 minutes. This is America's goddamn problem, and that's why the other countries be laughing at us. Land of the free and the home of the fuck out of here, because I thought these women were staying up there for at least a month. 11 minutes? How much that cost? The kids been starving. The homelessness is insane. Everybody don't even qualify for food stamps no more. The eggs... The footage don't even look real. It looked like it came from a motion picture from the 70s. What are we supposed to do with this information on this Monday morning? Like, did Jeff Bezos send his wife for collateral just to prove that ain't nothing gonna happen to them, or he don't care about her either? We really couldn't have allocated that money to decrease the egg prices? I need a scientist to make a TikTok right now to really give us the tea of if you could really get to space in 11 minutes, because I call bullshit. Hey, Jeffrey, you want to do us all a favor and send Trump and Elon up there next? Please and thank you.
The craziest thing about those bitches going up into space is them coming back down and being like, well, aren't you inspired? No, hooker. What the fuck could you have possibly done that would have inspired me in this moment? You spent over $10 million to go up to space for less than 20 minutes. Less than 20 minutes. You could have ordered a pizza before you went up and it would not have arrived by the time that you came back down. And then what did you do up there except for stare at a camera and giggle like a bunch of dumb fucking heifers? It's embarrassing. Honest to God. You know, back in the day, people with money used to actually spend it trying to further their fellow man. They used to add additions onto schools and hospitals. They used to donate money to conservation and the arts. You know what would have been inspiring? You donating money to your local library would have been far more inspiring than you spending over $10 million to go up into space, fuck around, and then come back down and say, you want to know what? Jeff Bezos is actually a pretty neat guy. You remember when those astronauts went into space for actual real fucking reasons and then got stuck up there? And for a while, we weren't sure if anybody was actually going to go up to get them. That should have been you.
It is the highest high, and it is surrender to the unknown, trust, and this whole journey is not just about going to space. It's the training, it's the team, it's the whole thing. I couldn't recommend this experience more. This is like up there with all the, different tools that I've learned in my life, from meditation to the Hoffman process. This is up there because what you're doing is you're like really finding the love for yourself, because you got to trust in yourself on this journey. And then you're feeling the love when you come down, for sure. And you're feeling that strength. So I feel really connected to that strong, divine feminine right now.
By the way, you're such a badass. I love that the month of April, you're like, I'm going to space and I'm launching my...
So this one's for Gayle King and Katy Perry. Guys, if you want us to feel better about your trip to space, next time don't sound like you're trying to be better than us, and don't sound like we have $20 million to go into space. So in order to make this better, you might want to apologize and contribute some money to a charitable foundation so that you seem more grounded, level, and relatable to the general public.
All right, by now we're all blue in the face seeing the nonsense with Katy Perry and her space trip, and even her little patch here that has Baphomet on it if you just flip it upside down. And if you don't know who Baphomet is, that's probably a good thing. You don't want to know who Baphomet is, but it's someone that people like Katy Perry worship. And believe me, it was intentional. She even made sure to hit the exact same Baphomet hand pose as she came down the stairs. But I want to talk about something that no one seems to be talking about, and it's the why. What's going on here? This is clearly fake intentionally. But why? I think I know. You see, what these people like to do is test out their technology on us, and they do it in a specific way. And I'll tell you what that is. This is a SpaceX rocket right from a landing of theirs. This is their footage, and it's clearly a hologram. I've shown this in many different videos. They're not real rockets landing perfectly upright. They're holograms, and they're testing it out to see if we will buy into it. And I still think that's what they're doing here. What I'm not sure of is just what technology they're testing out on us. Personally, I don't even think these people around this spacecraft are real. Watch this guy trip and then kind of glitch out here, and it's almost like frame skip. Watch, he trips, and then I'll show you a closer view here. Watch him trip and kind of glitch out, and something's not right here. Are they testing this? Or maybe they're testing this. I think these are literally fake windows. And kind of like on Halloween when you see the windows and there's holograms in it, I don't think they're real people in there. I think that's holographic technology that they're probably testing out on us to see if we see through the fakeness. You know, kind of like these things where you literally just put like a projector in the background. Or honestly, maybe the entire interview process with all those astronauts is completely fake. Maybe those aren't even them. Maybe those are literal holograms like they have here. The technology with holograms that they have right now would blow your mind if you actually knew it. And this is part of what they do. They make sure some things look really fake So the real things that they want to test out on you, you don't notice. Kind of like how there's literally a dummy hand in there. They're testing us. They're seeing what we will buy into. They're seeing how dumb is the current level of the public. Will they buy anything we shovel in front of them? Or are people starting to wake up to our lies a little, and we need to actually get a little better instead of doing things like...
You can tell it's real because it looks so fake, honestly. We'd have way better CGI if it was fake.
That's what I mean. They are testing out how dumb you are. It's always a test with them. They're always testing where we're at. And look, if you follow me, then you're pretty awake, because no one's following me that is dead asleep. But do your part. Have conversations. Show people nonsense like this. Make sure they know how much they're being lied to. That's what I do. I'm trying to do my part to help wake people up, because when I figured out I had been lied to my whole life, it pissed me off. But not only that, I wanted others that I know and love and care about to also know that they had been lied to their whole life, because then you take your power back, you lose your fear, because once you realize you're a spiritual being having an experience here and there's nothing to fear but fear itself, and that's what they want. They want you fearful so they can control you. And that's what they did to me my whole life. I thought I was living a free life, but you know what? I had fear, and I didn't believe in God. And now I have no fear, and I know God created this realm we live in, and, well, even if it's not to help people see God, help people wake up to all the lies. It's your responsibility. Don't hold it in yourself, and if it's difficult and it's a hard conversation or you're afraid of how you're going to look, stop it. Be brave. I have faith in you. Of course, all this was for entertainment purposes. I'm sure that's just... Katy Perry's rubbery-looking skin because she doesn't take care of it. Entertainment only, people.
My favourite thing about this whole celebrities going to space, women in space, Katy Perry's butterfly in space backlash thing, my favourite thing about it is the fact that celebrities are no longer on this massive pedestal that we've put them on. Like, I remember growing up in, like, the noughties. I'm almost 28. So in the noughties when I was growing up, I remember celebrities being everything, and they had this level of prestige that a regular person like me or you or whoever wouldn't ever be able to get to. But thank God for this generation and the upcoming generations who realize their flaws and how quickly we can take them off that pedestal. Like, seriously, we used to think celebrities were these gods that were sort of what you should look up to, what you should be. You should be this beautiful, you should be this rich, you should have this moral compass and do this much philanthropy. But now we're realizing that it's such BS, and how there are regular people with regular jobs, regular incomes, regular families, not, any celebrity family, who are doing incredible things in the world and are contributing so much more to the world than these so-called celebrities ever would. I'm so happy to be living in that kind of a generation, and I know there's so many negatives to social media and mental health and things like that. But social media, I think, has managed to deflate these celebrities' status. And yes, they'll always be rich and richer than the average person, but they'll also have a host of other problems. And I just don't think we put them on this massive pedestal anymore like we used to do 20, 30 years ago. And to be honest, I haven't really read into everything that happened. All I know is that a bunch of celebrity women went into space and only one of them was an astronaut. But yeah, I just think it's so great that we can quickly snap certain celebrities off that pedestal and give more shine and more attention and energy and resources to the people that truly deserve it, which most likely are the regular people.
Miss Gale's disappointed that the women didn't feel inspired enough, and they felt that it was a waste that they went up in the sky to play rocket for 11 minutes. This is the part where I'm like, okay, where are all the cameras? But the thing is that they're everywhere, right? Because this is a publicity stunt. What are we supposed to be inspired by? A billionaire wasting money because it was an all-woman crew. And then she follows up with, Jeff Bezos is doing a lot of good for the world, and he wants to do a lot of good for space too. Yeah, I'm sure he does. I'm sure he does. Gayle King, best friends with Oprah Winfrey. I'm sure he does. Oh my God, these people really live in their own bubble. Like, truly, they couldn't last a day They couldn't last a day in our shoes out here in the trenches. Nah, they couldn't do it.
This video is for Gayle King and Gayle King only. Hello, ma'am. So apparently you are upset at the masses because we're not viewing your excursion to space as the women's empowerment, girl power moment that you see it as. And to that, all I have to say is it's really hard for me to view you spending 2 minutes and 43 seconds in space as a girl power moment when I'm simultaneously watching married women lose their right to vote. Right? It's really hard for me to watch and feel, girl boss up, watching you spend 1 minute and 45 seconds in space when I'm simultaneously watching women die due to a lack of reproductive health care access. Right? It's really hard for me to feel empowered as a woman watching you spend 52 seconds in space when I am simultaneously watching women lose their jobs due to the erasure of DEI, including women astronauts. Okay? So you'll have to excuse me if you spending 15 seconds in space doesn't inspire me as a woman, because we have bigger fish to fry. Thank you.
The message for Katy Perry. If you're not Katy Perry, you can keep scrolling. Katy, babe, you're all good, because space. I got a few questions, all right? Firstly, who looked at Katy Perry and thought to themselves, that's an astronaut? How did they even pitch this to her? Katy, we know you've kissed a girl and you've liked it. We have something that we think you might like a little bit more. No. If you see the footage of her coming out of the plane, she kisses the floor like she's been up there for a few months fighting for the sake of humanity against Thanos and Darth Vader. Katy, you might have taken in too much of that CO2 you were emitting. You were there for 11 minutes total. I went to go take a shit. I came back out and you were already back on Earth. Calm down. The footage of her in space is actually tripping me out. If I wanted to see someone not on this Earth holding up a flower and smiling and laughing at the camera like they're on an acid trip, I'd go to a festival or a rave or a bush tour. I don't need you for that, Katy. And even in her interview, she's like, I feel so connected to love. So do all the people at the festivals, except they don't need a rocket to leave Earth. They just need some MDMA. Oh, I'm sick of these celebrities acting like they're doing the most profound life-altering shit for some higher purpose that benefits us. In one of her interviews, she's like, we're not taking up space, we're making space. What does that even mean, Katy? What are you talking about? If you keep going on with this cryptic bullshit, believe me when I say you're going to hear me roar. You understand?
Katy Perry going to space with Gayle King and Jeff Bezos' fiance and all of their rich girlfriends. Not impressed. I'm an engineer by trade. At least send 5 astronauts. Let's see them in action. Let's see what they can do. You know what? It was actually a little bit of a slap. It's like you had an all-women crew and they just pressed a button. That's not showing what women can do. That's not showing how smart we are. That's just putting women into a spaceship, dolling them up with makeup and like a tight suit and being like, yes, look at what women can do. I'm embarrassed. I'm embarrassed for us. And coming down and saying we weren't taking space, we were making space. Queen, you didn't eat. You thought you ate. You didn't. You didn't. That money could have been used for something better. There are so many problems. You could have just picked a random person on the street and given them the money. That would have been better. And that person would have, given it to their family and friends, and especially if it's a woman, because we know when a woman is taken out of poverty, she brings 8 other people with her. You should have just given it to a poor woman, and that would have changed her life. What has this done? It's just pissed people off. Or because you wanted to feel grateful. Let me know if I've missed a point, because that's what I read from this, and I wasn't impressed. I wasn't like, yay, this is going to open doors for women. And you did this as a PR stunt for Jeff Bezos? He is not a nice man. You cannot be a billionaire and be a nice person. If you're a billionaire, you've taken advantage of a lot of people. And we all know that people at Amazon, they're not even given proper toilet breaks. They go on strikes and they get fired. And you're doing a PR stunt for him?
Having watched the footage above, it's clear enough people feel they were fooled and it was a means of just getting money on social media. Do you believe Katy Perry traveled to space actually happened? If no, leave a comment in the comment section below and don't forget to like, subscribe and share. Thank you family. Bye.